Hello everyone, this is James. Thank you for watching this video. Today, as you can see on the screen, we will look at the SAT practice test number 1 provided by the College Board. And particularly within the SAT test, we will look at the reading part. And within the reading test, I would like to cover from question 32 to 41. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll never do that again. I apologize. From question 32 to 41, which is a passage 4, and it's a history passage. And there's a reason why I want to cover this particular passage, which is a history passage, simply because many students, most of the students who take SAT find history passage to be most challenging, very difficult, and do quite poorly on the test. So I wanted to help out by providing you with a reading analysis, so teach you how to read properly, and also cover each and every question with you so that I can help you improve. So let's get right into it. Let's start by reading this blurb, the introductory part or description, whatever you want to call it. And I can't stress enough the importance of reading this part because, very simply, this part could provide us with the most important hint about understanding the passage well. So let's start. This passage is adapted from Virginia Woolf. So author, 3 Guineas is the book that this passage is from. And it's 1938, so about 80 years ago. Here, Woolf considers the situation of women in English society. There you go. Boom, right off the bat. A very, very important hint. It gives us a very good grounding to understand this passage because it tells us it's about women in English society in 1938, but it can also help us predict pretty much straight away. It may be adversity or challenges or difficulties that women face and experience as situations in society because it's simply 80 years ago. And we just need to focus on what Virginia Woolf has, has something to say about the situations that women face. So let's find out. Close at hand is a bridge over River Thames, an admirable vantage ground for us to make a survey. So first sentence, we need to know we're at a bridge looking down, and it is a vantage ground, meaning it's a great spot to look down. It is a really good area to be able to look down to different things well. So it has a good view. For us to make a survey, so a couple of things. We are at this bridge, which is a vantage ground. So I would like to find out what makes this spot a vantage ground and make a survey. So we need to make a survey, and we don't know what this survey is yet, but we need to find out what kind of survey we need to make. And survey is usually asking questions and finding answers for those questions. So keep thinking about what we are here to do. Why we're here is to make a survey. The river flows beneath. Barges pass, laden with timber, bursting with corn. There on one side are the domes and spires of the city. On the other, Westminster and the House of Parliament. It is a place to stand on by the hour, dreaming. Yeah, so now I perfectly understand why it's a vantage ground. From this spot, at this bridge, we can see some farming, agriculture, nature. And on the other side, we can see the buildings and infrastructure, maybe even economic development, the city. And on the other, we can even see the government buildings, the politics, the political development. So at this point, it's a very vantage place because we can see the agriculture, economy, and even politics. So we can pretty much see the whole society from this point. So that's why it is a great place to daydream, but not now, okay? So we can do that now. We're here to make a survey, remember? Now we press for time, and also we don't have a lot of time. There's a sense of urgency here. Now we're here to consider facts. Now we must fix our eyes upon the procession. So what we need to do right now, in order to make a survey perhaps, is we must look at this procession, which is literally meaning like a march or parade. And this procession is procession of sons of educated men. So basically men marching or parading. So before moving on to the next paragraph, what we need to think about is why we need to fix our eyes upon the procession and how is that going to help us make a survey. There they go. So they are men in this context, obviously, because sons of educated men. So perhaps we would be women. Our brothers who have been educated at public schools and universities, mounting those steps, passing in and out of those doors, ascending those pulpits, preaching, teaching, administrating justice, practicing medicine, transacting business, making money. It's a solemn sight always, a procession. Okay, so I got it now. So procession is, we're not literally talking about a parade, but rather the procession here means men who are educated men, working in these professions and running the society, basically. So men running the society by doing these jobs. Okay, so that's a procession here. That's what procession means here. Okay. It's a solemn sight always, a procession like a caravansary crossing a desert. So it's not a laughing matter. It's not a light issue. It's a very heavy, serious thing always, this man running the society. But now, so there is a bit of a contrast here. We need to focus. Something important may be coming up. For the past 20 years or so, okay, so very specific about time period as well. So what's happening? What is changing? It is no longer a sight merely a photograph or fresco scrawled upon the walls of time at which we can look with merely aesthetic appreciation. So this is not just beautiful sight. There's something more to that. And what is it? For there, trapezing along at the tail end of procession. Okay, so at the tail end of procession, what's happening? We go ourselves. Wow. Okay. Heavy impact. Pretty, significant sentence, right? So from 20 years ago, there's something changing. We are in the moment of transition because this procession is a procession of men. But from 20 years ago, at the tail end of procession, women are joining the procession. We go ourselves. So they go, men, we go, women. All right. So this obviously means women are getting out there, unlike before, becoming professionals and doing the jobs just like men do to run the society. And that makes a difference. So yeah, its implication is very significant. We who have looked so long at the pageant in books or from a curtain window watched educated men leaving the house at about 9:30 to go to an office, returning to the house at about 6:30 from an office, need look passively no longer. So it's an emphasis, this sentence. So we don't need to stay at home and be passive. We too can leave the house, can mount those steps, pass in and out of those doors, make money, administrator justice. We who now, so yeah, see the perfect coherence here, okay? So above, this sentence says men in society being a preacher, teacher, judge, lawyer, doctors, businessmen, and running the business. And just like this sentence, it's almost like a parallel here, as you can see, can mount those steps just like a man, pass in and out of those doors just like men, make money, administer justice, being a doctor, businessman, and make money. So women, no need to look passively any longer, and we can too become professional out in the society. And we who now agitate these humble pens may in another century or two speak from a pulpit. Nobody will dare contradict us then. We shall be the mouthpieces of the divine spirit. A solemn thought, is it not? So, continue to emphasize, who knows? We don't need to be passive and stay home, and we can actually go out in the society and, become professional. Who can say whether as time goes on, we may not dress in military uniform? Again, it's more detailed. It's going into a little bit minor, but it's important in that it's emphasizing, women can go out into society and become even generals in the army, okay? With gold laces on our breast, swords at our side, and something like the old family coal scuttle on our heads, save that vulnerable object was never decorated with plumes of white horsehair. So horsehair obviously is talking about the long hair, metaphorically here as a bit of a sense of humor. You laugh, indeed. Shadow of private houses will make those dresses look a little queer. So if women decide to wear those public uniform, they may look a little queer because we have worn private clothes this so long. Okay, so women can go out and do these things, but if they decide and start wearing uniform, they may look a little feminine. Okay, but so something important coming up. We have not come here to laugh or to talk of fashion. So, Virginia Woolf admitting she's, maybe sidetracked, not so much, talking about the, minor detail, a little bit of jokes about how women look feminine, and, it's not really important. We're not here to, talk about the fashion. That's not the purpose why we're here. So go back to the first sentence. Remember? Why we are here, we as women, like we know now, is to make a survey, okay? So we are here on the bridge to ask ourselves certain questions. Wow, finally, okay? So, to ask ourselves certain questions is making a survey. So, something super important will be coming up right here. So, this will be like a highlight part of the whole passage. So let's really concentrate and enjoy. And they are very important questions, and we have little time in which to answer them. So again, emphasize how important this question that we need to ask are, and sense of urgency. We don't have a lot of time to waste. The question that we have to ask and to answer about that procession, so we need to ask the questions about procession, regarding procession, during this moment of transition. Yeah, so it is a moment of transition because from 20 years ago, women are starting to join the society as active member. And they're actually doing the professional work just like men. So the questions that we have to ask and to answer about that procession during this moment of transition are so important that they may well change the lives of all men and women forever. Wow. What an unbelievable sentence. Okay, so it is so important, and implication would be changing the lives of men and women forever in the future. So what women do now, the implication is huge, and that would be gender equality in the future. So the question the women ask right now and act on it as soon as possible is really, really important. The fate of women are depend on these questions and answer. For we have to ask ourselves here and now. So what is the question? Please tell me. Do we wish to join that procession or don't we? There you go. Okay, so this is the main question. This is the survey. This is the question the women need to ask themselves and answer. So do we as a woman wish to go out in a society and become active members of society and run the society as professionals or not? On what terms shall we join that procession? Above all, where is it leading us, the procession of educated men? So, these would be an implication based on, what decision we make. And obviously, Virginia Woolf already, we can see, is urging women to join the procession and promote gender equality and become an active member of society to run the society as professional. We can see that because she is urging us and saying we don't have enough time and we have to make this action as soon as possible. So, it doesn't really make sense that it's very rhetorical because it doesn't make sense to really ask women question. And if women answer like, no, I don't want to join the procession, then okay, that's fine. I mean that's obviously not the answer Virginia Woolf would be looking for. So Virginia Woolf is asking questions. She is pretty much telling us to join the procession. This is a window of opportunity the women have to change the fate of women forever in the future. That's what Virginia Woolf is trying to say to the women. The moment is short, again, sense of urgency. It may last 5 years, 10 years, perhaps only a matter of a few months longer. So now we realize why Virginia Woolf has been saying, 3-4 times that, we don't have time, it's really urgent, because she believes women may have only 5 years, 10 years, or even months to act on this window of opportunity to solidify this opportunity that is present itself to the women now. But you will object. Okay, so some people would object, some women. You have no time to think, you have your battles to fight, your rent to pay, your bazaars to organize. So, some women may object to this claim by Virginia Woolf, right? By saying, I have domestic duties, I need to raise children at home, I have my roles to do. So possibly, I cannot possibly go out to the society and do these jobs. I cannot do that because I have to stay home and, I have work to do at home. So that would be objection. And what does Virginia Woolf say to that? That excuse. So, she is discounting that's just an excuse. Okay. It's not even justifiable reason or good reason. Okay. So Virginia Woolf is saying that excuse shall not serve you, madame. Okay. So that excuse shall not serve you. Why? As you know from your own experience, and there are facts that prove it. So here comes the reason why Woolf is saying that excuse shall not serve you. The daughters of educated men. Okay? So, wow. See how coherent this is and how beautifully written this is? So, the sons of educated men are male who run the society. So, the daughters of educated men here, we have to understand as females who joined the tail end of procession from about 20 years ago and working as a professionals in the society. Those females are daughters of educated men. Okay, so daughters of educated men have always done their thinking from hand to mouth. Okay, give me a bit more detail here. Not under green lamps at study tables in the cloisters of secluded colleges. Okay, so what did they do then? They have thought while they stir the pot, while they rock the cradle. Okay, I see. All right, so Virginia Woolf is saying these women who have given the rest of the women opportunity to now go out to the society and really run the society, these women, basically have been doing two jobs. They've been working overtime. They've been working super hard. They didn't, use the excuses like, I need to stay home and, be a traditional woman. These daughters of educated men have been thinking and doing the work while they, cooking or doing the housework, stir the pot, while they rock the cradle, meaning while they were raising children. So, these women have been working two jobs, and that is why, okay, it was thus that they want us to write to our brand new sixpence. Wow. Okay. I mean, it's so amazing, this writing. Okay. So it was thus, therefore, this is a reason why these women, daughters of educated men, has given the rest of the women, this unbelievable opportunity, this brand new sixpence. So sixpence, must be some kind of the coin. And again, it's not literal. It's not talking about actual money, but it's rather talking about this new opportunities that women have now to go out and run the society, just like the men or with the men. Okay. It falls to us now to go on thinking, how are we to spend the sixpence? Yeah, so this is basically same as, so now we have this opportunity and we need to decide, do we wish to join that procession because we have this opportunity from daughters of educated men, or don't we? Okay, so, how are we going to use this opportunity, utilize this opportunity that, women have in front of them right now? Think we must. Let us think in offices. Yeah, so think in offices. Let's, go out and really join this procession and, become businessmen and become, professionals. Yeah, let us think in offices, in omnibuses, while we're standing in a crowd watching coronations at Lord Mayor's show. So let's become politicians. Okay, let's become all of these things, just like men, to run the society. Let's join the procession. Let us think in the gallery of House of Commons, in the law courts. Yeah, let's become lawyers. Let us think at baptism and marriage and funerals. So let's keep thinking. Let's become all of these things because we can. Let's go out there and really let's join the procession. Let's make the procession that is procession of sons and daughters of educated men. Okay, let's really do that. Let's really join the procession. Let us never cease from thinking, what is this civilization in which we find ourselves? Wow. Okay, so this is stage of civilization that we are facing. So women need to make most of it, and women need to, take the next step in this civilization. Wow. Okay. What are these ceremonies and why should we take part in them? Okay. Because that's how woman gender will become equal, obviously, right? That is the implication. What are these professions and why should we make money out of them? Yeah, as I said. Where, in short, is it leading us? The procession of sons of educated men. Wow. That's it, isn't it? Yeah, so that is the end of the passage. As you can appreciate, I certainly appreciate it. It's a very beautifully written, amazing piece of writing. And to summarize, Virginia Woolf is urging women to really grab this window of opportunity with both hands, and urging women to go out into society and become all of these things they can become as educated women, just like men. And yeah, so that is the passage. And I have done it pretty comprehensively, so doing the questions would be, quite easy, I think. And, let me take a pause, and let's finish the video right here. And from the next video, I'll go through from question 32 to 41. Okay? So, see you soon. Thank you.